Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not. I'm Aunt.
And I'm Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. How are you? I
I'm
haven't talked to you forever.
And forever. Welcome to
Forever.
New York.
What do you think in New York? I'm going to actually tell you this. When they woke up at Erin's house, I went, oh, dear God, no, they're not still at Erin's house, are they? Oh, Lord, when is it? When are we leaving Erin's house? What is this, three episodes of Erin's house? It should have been maybe 1.25. It was 3.
I didn't have that kind of visceral reaction. However, I was surprised.
That they were still there.
Yes.
Well, they made breakfast. She finally fed them.
The shashaka. I want to make a shashaka.
I will say that
Shashuka.
I thought her, whatever it is, I will say I do think her food was lacking.
So I think Sai's comment around like, what is this? Like the watery eggs, whatever, and how she's made jokes about food. Well, first and foremost, this is something where like anyone that watches TV all the time, like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that the producers were in Sai's ear to be like, food, talk about the food,
Maybe.
talk about the food again.
I don't think she had enough food though. I really don't.
She didn't. But of course, that's what the producers were saying too.
Because you never saw a bunch of even like fruit platters around.
Nothing.
And like things of nuts, just
Nothing.
something for people to eat in everybody's room. There should have been like a little nosh in case.
So a few things. She definitely didn't watch the Housewives. Like, no. Come on, she
should have known. I don't think she had enough food. Whereas Sai at the end, she had enough food.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's how I felt. I just couldn't believe they were still there. Now, I was glad they left. I didn't write one note about that.
But Brynn made me laugh a lot this episode.
She made me laugh, but I had a lot more sympathy for her. A lot more sympathy.
I thought she was real.
She is desperate for love. That's why she's so what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say easy, but she's so she's sexually very.
I think that's a joke. I think that's a defense mechanism because I actually don't think she's super. I don't think she does what like I think that it's a lot of talk.
There's something because
I think there's something, but
when you're lacking love like that, where you don't have the love for your parents, you like either become a nun or a stripper a lot of times. You know what I mean? And she seems like she's a sexual overdrive. And maybe it is all just a facade.
I think some of it's a facade.
Maybe it will be.
I think the engagements are because she's in love with love. And then when she gets like the details and starts to get to know them, she's like, oh my God, I don't really want to marry you, but I thought I did.
Well, you know what it is. All those little things that are cute when people are dating aren't cute anymore once you're living with them. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? That's the thing. All those things. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. It's not so funny anymore that he's sitting.
And the secret is nothing's always cute and you're never going to fully like everything. You have to learn like to just like, I hate some things about Brad and I love it. I tell it all the time. Why wouldn't I? Like, why wouldn't we be real? Why am I going to pretend that something you do is normal? I don't think it's normal. I'll never think it's normal. So do it in your own time and leave me alone. But like, I love you. Come on.
Yeah, something should be private.
Private, but also like, you've been married how long? There's not going to be everything you like about your husband.
Yeah, no, I know. That's right. We don't talk to each other. We try not to see each other. It works.
It works because you have a foundation. There's things you do like to do together. So why are you going to try to force things that you don't like to
anything? But I was far more sympathetic to her, and the hair situation is legit.
Oh yeah.
I know someone whose children are biracial, and she was so happy when she had a son.
I can only imagine the hair.
Because she said, I'm a white and I won't be able to deal with the hair, but the boy, he can just go to the barbershop and get a haircut. And that's what he does. He goes with his dad to the barbershop and he gets his haircut. And because she was really, really afraid of having a girl and having to deal with her hair, and she was going to be afraid of that.
Yeah.
And Brynn talks about it in this episode that luckily her mom knew someone at the hospital.
Yeah, and she got to go and like understand how to take care of your hair, which is different. Yeah. And I think that's, I will say that I think that
and she has hair.
Oh, she has a lot and it's thick.
Oh,
and it's like,
hair for days. But I love that she does what a lot of people do. She goes once a week and she gets her hair washed and straightened, and then she does nothing to it for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
You know, you're not supposed to, well, this is kind of silly saying this to you. You're not supposed to wash your hair every day. It's
I
bad
understand.
for
You're
it.
also not supposed to get your hair washed after a perm. I learned that in Legally Blonde.
Yes. But I mean, you really are best to only wash your hair like twice a week. Just an FYI, but I don't know why I'm telling you.
I'll take that into consideration in my
Shine,
routine.
shine, shine.
I think that they are. Do you think that they've started to craft the narrative, like the production side of things, storyline around, and I'm not saying whether I agree with this, don't agree with this, but I think we can both agree that it's a thing among the Gen Z millennial generation talking about childhood trauma. It seems like they're really addressing childhood trauma like through multiple storylines. And I just wonder if it's because it's real and maybe like it backs up the claims that like millennials especially talk a lot about their childhood trauma, or is it because they're trying to address this like theme in society? I wonder.
I think it is probably that these women being younger have more of a demographic where their parents might have been divorced, where we know
Okay.
Jill Zarin's parents weren't divorced, and Luann and all of them were from a different generation where the parents didn't have divorce.
I hear
So
what
they
you're
didn't
saying.
have that trauma. I mean, the Judices weren't divorced. None of those
No, I hear what you're saying. There,
in
it was
Jersey got
surprising when
divorced.
parents were divorced
Right.
versus now it's like it could
Yes.
be a toss up and it's nothing to like blink an
Right.
eye about.
Yeah. You know, because you have people talking. And if you look through the Housewives, the ones who do come from broken homes, they do talk about it. But when you got all the Judices, Jill still with her parents all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that could be some of the difference. You don't have the same trauma. If you're in your diapers for 6 days, you've got childhood trauma.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're still picking up your parents and taking them to lunch, you don't. Because
No,
Jill
I hear
Zarin
you.
is still with her parents all of the time. She isn't going to have the same childhood trauma.
No,
That's
it's
all.
not. I mean, I think she wasn't with them as much. I think she is now because of their age and taking care of them and helping
No, I
them.
understand that, but I think her and her sister and her parents were always close.
They were. No,
Yeah, yeah,
from what I
totally.
know.
And the same with Judices, you know, and all of the Jersey people and stuff. It's all based on family. Is everything.
Did you get a chance to catch, just because you said Jersey, did you get a chance to catch the Jersey Shortcast on Watch What Happens Live?
No, was it good?
You need to watch it. It was really
Okay.
great. But
Okay.
also you need to find it's either, I think it's on Instagram and TikTok, of the Jersey Shore girls doing their taglines with the New Jersey music background.
Oh, were they good?
Like Watch What Happens
Sammy
Live.
came back.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Like Jenny J Wow's like, I might be a brunette bombshell, but I don't do well with grenades.
Ooh,
And then like, because they
yeah,
call it
that was
grenades,
good.
and Sammy's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sammy's like, they may call me Sammy Sweetheart, but I don't know, something else. Their tag, they were
I will
really
look at
fun.
it. Yeah, I'm
Angelina's
sure.
was great. It was like, I used
Angelina
to be the
brings it.
Kim Kardashian of Staten Island, and I'm still trying to be. It's like really funny.
They said she's the most drama this season.
Oh yeah, I saw them. They've been everywhere. They got great press, but you know what? They should. First and foremost, there's strikes going on. There's not much else promoting.
Oh, that's
and
true.
also,
yeah.
like there's not a ton of talent to book. And the other thing is that I'll tell you, you're probably going to see a lot more. That's why I'm surprised that Bethany is launching this big like legal thing that we can talk about. I don't really care to talk about it that much. I don't think it's going to go that far.
Well, I mean, I don't think Andy's happy with it.
He's probably not happy about it. I have my own opinions. I also think they all signed waivers, and I don't think there's much they can really do.
I don't think they can, but I do believe going forward, since such a majority, not a majority, such a big percentage of television is reality these days, they should have far more protection than they do, because they are exploited.
They should have a union, but I don't think it needs to be like a SAG.
A union, but I think they're exploited.
I think it should be like actors
There
equity.
should be a separate thing. There should be a separate thing for if you're on something like Housewives, which is a little bit different than if you're on Amazing Race, though they're still considered. If it's, what's the prison show, Love Behind Bars or something, that shouldn't be treated at the same level as Big Brother.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, Big Brother's legit 25 years, but I wasn't crazy. I watched the premiere and it was very, very flat, my opinion. It might get better, but I thought it was flat.
So what I will say is that
I mean, but you can't, I mean, the people on Survivor and Amazing Race, Big Brother, some of these big reality shows, the Housewives, they should have a little protection.
going back to New York.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you like when you go to someone's house and they make you take off your shoes?
No.
I hate it. I hate it. And if you're going to make me take off my shoes, you better have something for me to put on my feet. That's my feeling. I've been to people's homes. They want you to take off your shoes and they always have fresh little slippers for you to put on that are brand new and or socks. And that's fine with me, but I'm not walking around, and most people's feet should be kept under wrap. And the last thing I want to do is to go to a house and have to see people's stinky, disgusting feet. I'm just saying.
I mean, I just don't think that you should have to.
I understand the point that New York City streets are really, really dirty, but you're filming a television show. Have your maids come in afterwards and wash the floor. You're not eating on the floor.
Exactly.
Your floor can be dirty for the day. Right. The floor can be dirty for the day. Does she have young kids, Sai?
No.
Oh, does she have kids?
Yes, too. But they're like,
I saw London. Yeah. Right. They showed her daughter with all the hair, which made me think about Brynn.
Yeah.
With
her
all
daughter's
her
beautiful.
Yeah. You know what I thought was interesting when they talked about that you can have friends and feel alone, you know? And I'm going to tell you, I've been in a room full of 30 people and felt alone. I think we all have. I don't think that's unusual, but I think it's worse when you don't have parents who didn't love you. And they might have loved you, but they weren't. I mean, obviously, they must have been drug addicts or whatever is what I assume her parents were. Brynn.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't know. I mean, I've also had so many moments where it's been just me and no one else, and I've been so happy.
And me too. I love being alone.
Same.
I also thought it was weird at the party that Erin's grandmother died, and then she still came to the party and nobody was treating it like, are you okay? Yeah, it shouldn't be, oh, your grandma was 94. Oh yeah, who cares? Oh, I hope you had a good time. I mean, that to me was just blew my mind, because age doesn't matter. It's the relationship you had with that person. When your grandmother dies, you're not going to a party that night, even if
but the only thing I'm thinking
Real
is,
Housewives of New York City.
Do you think she didn't want to talk about it, and maybe that was said off camera? Like, that's what I always think about.
I don't know. I don't think she should have went, to tell you the truth. I think
Probably
she
not.
should have said, hey, I'm really sorry, guys, and done a thing. My grandmother died. I'm not coming tonight. That would have been better. But you know what? That's like a rookie mistake, in that you're so don't want to miss anything. You have FOMO. You want to be in every scene. You don't want to miss any action. And even though I just buried my grandmother today and had a bereavement or whatever, I'm still going to go. I don't think she should have went. Doesn't make me change my opinion of her, but I wouldn't have gone. Of course, when I buried my mother, I couldn't have gone anywhere, but that's another story.
By the end of the day, you couldn't have gone anywhere.
Nope, I couldn't have gone anywhere. And you know what else annoys me? That there's so many hugs now. I know they're new. They kind of like, this is now they're into like, well, we're seeing, what was this, episode 4, but they've really into like episode 7, and everyone's like, hi. Oh, I can't stand it. Like, you're filming every single day. Do you have to be giving each other big hugs and kisses all the time? It's enough to drive me crazy. And where does Sai live? Does she live in Brooklyn? Yeah. I was trying. Okay. I forgot. Okay.
I like Ubah too. I think her story is inspirational.
Yeah. She's making the sauce because her food stinks.
I mean,
so I guess if you just have steamed vegetables and fish your whole life, you need to have
Ubah's hot. Ubah hot.
Ubah hot. Ubah hot. I think.
Oh, I get it now. Like Ubah hot, like uber hot. Like extra hot.
Like extra hot. Yeah. Like Ubah hot. Yeah.
I thought it was just a cool name. Ubah.
Extra. I think that Brynn had a bad life. And she has a lot of childhood trauma. And that unless she's had real work, she's never going to get over it. Sorry.
No.
She's a fractured soul in a lot of ways. That's what I wrote. She's a fractured soul.
Yeah, you can tell that she's like, I think that now it makes sense too, like about why she didn't want to go to catch, right? And I'm just going to use this as a weird example. I think that because her life has been filled with so many dark moments,
Yeah.
that when she elevates herself, whether like spiritually, mentally, financially, it doesn't matter. But when she feels like she's outgrown something, and it started with feelings and probably family as she's evolved, she never looks back, right? So she's probably like, that was my old time. And maybe it was attached to a boyfriend or a group of friends. And because she's had so much trauma in her life, she decides that when she drops something, she drops it. And so I can see it. Like I can just see how she's not as
she can detach
and
as a
she, yeah,
defense mechanism.
you can't like mold her into being the version of Brynn that you want her to be. Like she's
Right.
been through enough real shit that she's like wants to do what she wants to do. And that can sometimes be, I know people like that like feel like because they've gone through something, they're entitled to something, and therefore like they use that as their way of like kind of justifying why they're a certain way when it's actually just unhealthy.
Yeah, that's true. Well, at least they recognize they're unhealthy and it's
Yeah.
because of this, but they don't get help for that. You know what though? These women aren't really fun. And it was so weird with Jessel and her husband and the whole bit.
Yeah.
Oh God. I think that's manufactured now.
I feel badly
I
for
just
her.
wonder.
She's probably the most normal of the whole group.
Yeah, maybe. I love when he was kind of telling her that she's not a good fit for the show. I'm not sure if Jen is a good fit for the show either. I mean, I think she's interesting because she's different. But why do I have to hear about boobs every single time she talks?
Also, like, I don't, if she said she was
it's
busy,
too much boobs.
Now we're talking about next episode. It's like,
no, when she was drinking the mug.
No, I know, but I'm saying now talking about next episode,
Erin's mom.
It's like, okay. So Jenna said that she had a family thing, but
and it was doing her tree.
Which, like, maybe if her son was there, it is a family thing. Now, yeah. Maybe she embellished that a little bit, but at the same time, like, to make a play off of her last name to call her a liar, it's like that's a little stretch. There's a little bit of a stretch.
Yes. And of course, Erin can always say no. Well, I buried my grandmother and I still showed up. I buried my grandmother and I still showed up. It will always be no matter what, I did that. I don't know. I think Jenna's having trouble on this show. She's not a good fit for it.
Well, I also think
it's interesting, and I think she brings something. She's better than Jessel, that's for sure. But I don't think I don't think she's a good fit for reality TV. How's that?
They need to bring someone in that has drama with them. They need to bring someone in.
They need to bring somebody who's actually fun, like Sonia or Ramona. I mean, there's nobody who fits that. I mean, I know they're not going to be the same, but these girls aren't really fun. Well, Lindsay Lohan's not on the show. She just
why not? They need to find like a Denise Richards of New York.
Sure. I mean, there's got to be one.
Totally is. They need to bring in a famous person.
Yeah. These none of them have. I hate to say it, but none of them are really that. I shouldn't say it. It's not like I got major accomplishments, but it's not
because I'm thinking
it's not. Well,
Jenna, other than Jenna.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't even know what they do. What does Brynn do? I kept on thinking, what does she do?
I mean, like, I know someone that would have been perfect. Brynn is, I told you this. We talked about this 3 times. First, she was just a content creator. Then she was a business marketing consultant and content creator. Her Instagram, week after week, she's changed it. She's added a title because she doesn't really have one. But
where'd she get her money? She grew up poor.
Who knows? Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
have we
she
seen
has
her house?
money.
Have we seen her house?
Maybe she's made money off Instagram, content creator.
I don't know. Have we seen her house though? I don't remember it. I've seen Jessel's.
She also may have money from, remember, her grandparents raised her after.
Yeah, I know, but she said her grandmother worked at the
Things
hospital.
change in life. You never know.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I would love to know where she gets her money.
But how do you know she has money?
I don't know. Because she's walking around dressed like she has money. I just assume she had money. She's a housewife.
She could have a good job. I just don't know or maybe she left a couple good jobs. Like, I mean,
see, that is where this show, with those first 3 episodes that were cut, are hurting the show. Because I don't know anything about these people still. And this was what, 4? This was episode 4. I know one was a real estate, and one was J. Crew, and one is also in fashion, but I don't know what kind of fashion. And one's a model. I have no idea what Brynn does. And I'm missing someone. Oh, Sai.
But I also think like
she is an Instagram person, Sai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's fair to just, I don't even know. We don't really say that about the other franchises.
Well, because we know them.
That's what I'm saying. So I think you're thinking, but that's also how they were presented to us, was like, what did they do? You know what I mean?
Day one, I knew Vicky Gunvalson had an insurance agency.
But she was the only one.
I knew about Zarin Fabrics.
Okay, but that's because she had her own brand to push.
I'm just saying, from day one, I know what these people did. I don't know what these people do necessarily. I didn't know what the Judices do. Nobody knew what the Judices
They don't
do.
do
That's
anything.
Why they went
That's
to
the
prison.
thing. I think
what
they
does
need
Louis do?
They need someone of relevance. I don't think it's a past cast member. I think it's like maybe it's like Lindsay Hubbard from Summer House.
You want to know what would have been more interesting? I think if they picked somebody who was on Broadway or something, but not a star, even someone who is like has had 10 supporting roles behind them or something. They'd be a little dramatic. Maybe they're married to somebody a little fabulous, like a hockey player or something. See, that's what they were missing. They need somebody who was married to a Ranger, to a Nick, to a Yankee. Why couldn't they have a Yankee wife or something? That would have been more interesting.
That, or they need to pull in like Olivia Palermo, who was on the City and the Hills with Whitney Ford and Lauren Conrad. Like, she's a socialite in New York City. Like, someone that has other reality. Like, they could also, Lindsay Hubbard from Summer House on Bravo is engaged and like is older than most of them. She's almost 40.
So we're both in agreement though that I still think that it would have, like when they had Tiki Barber and his wife in Jersey, they were a bore. But you can't tell me that there isn't somebody fabulous in New York between the Rangers and the Knicks and the Jets, or they could have found a wife, or even a coach's wife or something that somebody really has stuff going on all the time. They got basketball games like a Maloof. There was the basketball game to go to. We've got a game to go to. We're sitting in the box. Something.
Yeah.
Would have been something.
I mean, how about this? Like, there's a lot of people, like, what about Coco, Ice-T's wife? They live in New York. Like, you know what I mean? Like, someone that has a little bit of like,
it could be an old soap opera person that like Lisa Renner and Eileen Davidson. They were on soaps. They used to do a bunch of soap operas in New York City, and they all,
it could even be like a child star that's now grown, like Adrienne Bailon from like, who was on Cheetah Girls. No, she lives in New York. She's like 40.
Debbie Gibson.
Yeah. No, Debbie Gibson's too old.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
For this group of women.
I'm just saying there was a lot of possibilities of someone that had a little bit more life going on. Another ex-model with a little, I don't know what it is. It's missing something.
Yeah, or even like an SNL personality. Someone that like lives in New York.
Oh, somebody in the Peacock network too.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking an old soap opera, because they used to have all kinds of soap operas. Something like that. You know what the problem is with Bravo? They don't have a lot of reality shows that are like Survivor or anything. So they don't have people like that to pull from either.
They do. I mean, I don't know. There's lots of.
There has to be someone who's the housewife of one of their weathermen or something in New York too. I'm just saying they could have pulled someone with a little bit more of a social presence.
Yeah. Or someone that maybe has political presence, like
like Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there a girl Cuomo that's out there that has someone?
That's what I mean. Yeah, well, Andrew Cuomo's kids are young, but no, Andrew Giuliani, he would be perfect with his wife.
Yeah,
he would be. Do you know Andrew Giuliani?
I've seen it. Yeah, didn't he run in Pennsylvania?
No, he ran for governor of New York, but he would be perfect because he's kind of like, he's got a lot of New York personality and the whole bit. That's what they need. They're missing a New York personality. They have young New York, but they don't have the thread of New York going through them, because there is still that thread.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think
there is
that it's
still
something...
old New York out there. There's still Morgan, still matter. Trump, Rockefellers, Carnegie. There's still a whole bunch of people there, and they didn't have a thread of old New York money too. Maybe if they had somebody with old New York money that was like a Vanderbilt or something, you know, like Anderson Cooper's cousin, it might be just more.
There's someone out there.
There's someone out there that they missed.
Yeah.
You know who's wanted to be a New York City housewife for a long time is Lindsay Lohan's mother.
And that's what I thought of Lindsay, because Dina's too old. Dina. Yeah, she's too old.
Dana. Yeah, she doesn't matter. She's too old. But anyways, is it growing on me? I'm watching it.
Yeah. I mean, you'll see how it plays out. You're interested to see how they think it does, how it plays out. I mean, I'm Bethany brought up a good point. Bethany and Jill's podcast, the two of them, 450,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
And the New York episode last week.
They can't beat us.
Yeah, well, the New York episode last week had 429,000.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, they're out there. Well, they've got a brand. You know, you can go to Total Wines tonight and get a skinny girl margarita. So they do have a brand. These girls don't really have a brand. So it's like comparing apples to oranges.
Then you can skip over to the clearance rack at Saks Off Fifth and get a Jill and Allie candle to go.
There you go. All right. Till next week.
Talk soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.